am a survivor of assault and harassment. I'm here to take back the power and take back control. Deshaun Watson is my assaulter and my harasser.
Serious accusations against Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson.
The 25-year-old facing accusations that he assaulted and harassed women during massages.
Massage therapist Ashley Solis, the first woman to file a civil lawsuit against Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, also became the first to go public.
Deshaun Watson assaulted and harassed me on March 30th, 2020, in my own home, doing what I love most, massage therapy.
Solis says in her lawsuit that Watson came to her home where she typically saw massage clients, and that it became apparent that Watson wanted a massage for only one reason: sex. At one point, Solis's lawsuit states Watson purposely touched plaintiff's hand with the tip of his genitals. She says she was scared and started crying, only wanted Watson to leave, and that Watson told her, "I know you have a career and a reputation, and I know you would hate for someone to mess with yours, just like I don't want anyone messing with mine."
I got into massage therapy to heal people. Deshaun Watson has robbed me of that. He took that away from me. He tainted a profession in which I take enormous pride.
Watson and his attorney Rusty Hardin have denied Watson sexually assaulted Solis. Hardin made public a February email exchange in which Solis's attorney told Watson's camp, quote, "My client's demand is $100,000. Solis had asked for that money in exchange for her silence.
People say that I'm doing this just for money. That is false. I come forward now so that Deshaun Watson does not assault another woman.
The fallout was almost immediate. A day after Solis went public, Nike, Beats by Dre, and Reliant Energy all announced they'd either suspend or end their endorsement deals with the beleaguered quarterback.
We were all deceived into thinking Deshaun Watson was a good guy. And unfortunately, we know that good guys can do terrible things.
Oh, you gangsters think you tough, knowing you ain't bout that life. Okay, now we call your bluff, it's time that you pay the price. Oh, you scared, huh? Police bout to read them rights. I don't wanna go to jail, man, might not get no bail, man. You gangsters think you tough until them rollers pull them cuffs. Okay, now we call your bluff, you just be talking all that stuff. Oh, you a big dog, huh? Cut it out, boy, not even close. I don't wanna go to jail, man, I'm broke, can't get no bail, man. Bro, you funny, you a trip. Talking nonsense out your lips. Neighbors, they complaining. Tell you calm it down a bit. Now you Mr. Tough Guy. Like, fuck all that shit. Until them blues come knocking, now you sounding like a bitch. Oh, you gangsters think you tough, knowing you ain't bout that life. Okay, now we call your bluff. It's time that you pay the price. Oh, you scared, huh? Police bout to read them rights. I don't wanna go to jail, man. Might not get no bail, man. You gangsters think you tough until them rollers pull them cuffs. Okay, now we call your bluff. You just be talking all that stuff. Oh, you a big dog, huh? Cut it out, boy, not even close. I don't wanna go to jail, man. I'm broke, can't get no bail, man.
FYF Sports. Man, this situation with Deshaun Watson, I think it's getting way, way, way out of hand, man. Some of the things that's coming out. It's getting way out of hand. And I think it's sad. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that he has to go through this particular situation. And what's even worse about this situation is that the alleged victims are running around conducting themselves as if they're operating with shady undertones behind the scenes. I don't like what I'm seeing. This is why I did that community post, y'all. I think this is something that, from all of the stuff that I've looked into, I think this has to be handled by LaBatman Lane. Now, before I even drop that video, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to try to conduct some of the same research that I've been conducting on this. And what I've found is I've found some very alarming things about the first victim that came forward, Ashley Solis, or Solis, I'll say her name correctly. Now, this is not to say that this didn't happen. There's potentially, we have to leave the door open for Deshaun Watson actually being guilty. We can't just say he's innocent. We have to say that there is a potential that he may be guilty. The way this is looking, it's looking as if this was a potential money grab that backfired because Deshaun Watson's side didn't capitulate to the initial money grab, because they didn't fold to that initial request. Then the lawsuit, I think it was sloppily filed, where a lot of details were missed. Now, again, this attorney, I don't know how good of an attorney he is, her representation. Maybe he feels he's crossed all his T's and dotted all his I's. But they've done a sloppy job of covering up some real dirty footprints. They've done a sloppy job. And I hope you guys have caught on to it, because you know what I do when I see these types of stories. I don't look at it at face value. I mean, ESPN did a good job of dropping some bombs on this story as well. When they talked about how another massage therapist stepped forward and said, I've worked with him multiple times. And she also said multiple times he became erect in the process of the massage. She says that's very common with athletes because they need those portions of their bodies massaged. And she says sometimes an erection happens. She says it happened with her. But she says her being a professional, she didn't take it as any sign of sexual innuendos or connotations or anything like that. She just did her job, and she knew that comes with it. Similar to how if you're a sports reporter walking into a locker room, you're probably going to see some things that you probably don't want to see. That just comes with the job, especially if you're walking into a professional sports locker room. You may even hear some things you don't want to hear. Part of what comes with the job. So we have massage therapists who actually came out and said, when he became erect with me, because I was massaging a portion of his groin that's highly sensitive, but now she says the same thing happened to her, but she took it as a sexual connotation, sexual harassment. And then she said that, I want you guys to listen to her speech, because these are the things that is going to really get broken down and critiqued. And I'm not going to really play her speech here, because I got to say that for LaBatman Lane. He's going to really expose a lot of that. But she dropped a lot of bombs that I don't think she wanted to get out there. And I think the attorney did a good job of creating that script for her to say. One of the worst things you can do is, if you are a real victim, is you cannot go up there and force tears and fake cry. I think it was fake tears. It's unfortunate that happened, but I believe so. On top of the fact that she said a number of things. Remember, she said she last saw him on March 30th. She also said that from that point forward, she said she slowed down her business because it was extremely hard for her to get through a session. She said it was extremely hard for her to get through a session without dealing with trauma. So business ultimately came to a halt. So, the first thing I did was, me just nosing around. I just nose around. No real reason. I'm just nosing around. And so I said to myself, well, let's find out if business did come to a halt. I said, how can I find out if business came to a halt? How can I find out? And I'm going to show you guys how I found out, and again, this was something that was it just brings up a flag in my head. It just brings up a flag in my head. Nothing too crazy. But I want you guys to start doing what I do. It's looking deeper into what people say. So the first thing I do is I go to the Google reviews of her business. So she has two review pages, a Google review page and then also a Vagaro review page. According to the reviews, it looks like business was booming through the pandemic. You're talking about over literally close to 100 positive reviews stemming from April of 2020 all until now. It's hard for you to make the argument or the connotation that you couldn't function, you couldn't work when you got literally over 100 positive reviews since March 30th, 2020 to now. And the one thing I'm going to tell you guys about reviews, the funny thing about reviews is that when you're a business, you never get as many positive reviews as you actually deserve. You have a lot of people who are extremely satisfied, will walk away and not say a word. It's extremely hard to get the few out of all the customers that you have to actually leave a review. So of this 100 reviews, just based on me having a business and seeing how hard it is to get, out of every 10 customers I have with my business, I may be able to convince one of them to get a review. So if we compare that and, into her business, let's say she can do 3 clients a day. That means she's probably done, over 300 clients since then, which is multiple clients per day. All who are giving her 5-star reviews. Doesn't seem like you're having too much trouble conducting business as usual, just based on your reviews. And this is just one of the things. The attorney already immediately came out with the letter that they were sent from her attorneys. Said for her, it specifically said, for her silence, we request $100,000. That sounds like a threat. For her silence. Remember what she said in the intro, y'all. As soon as she said it, she said, this is not for money. She said, I'm not coming out for money. But the attorney specifically told Deshaun Watson's attorney to buy her silence. It's $100,000. Her silence had a price. So obviously this is for money. There are a number of things that she said that need to be broken down. All right. Number of things that she said that need to be broken down, and we're here to break them down. All right. On top of that, And while we do that, because I'm going to pull up some more information, I got to find it. I had it pulled up on my phone. I got to get it pulled back up. But I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to bring some of you guys in here just so we can cook on it. We're going to cook on this topic from y'all perspective, because maybe you guys are going to give me some additional insight that I can put in my video that's going to come out Wednesday. But I want y'all perspective on this. The optics for Deshaun Watson don't look good. And that's the one thing that she had on her side. She knew. Remember what I told y'all the other day, when we talk about lawsuits, the bigger side always has more to lose than the lesser side. I don't care if the lesser side has a weak case or not. The side that has the more money, that's bigger, that has the more popularity, they stand to lose more than the lower side. There's really no winning for Deshaun Watson. Now that they've come out for it, Deshaun Watson really has no choice but to fight this tooth and nail to the end, because he's not going to win at all going forward. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. The public eye is going to destroy him. His career is never going to be the same. It's going to be hard for brands to touch him. It's going to be hard for other teams to touch him. And the funny thing is, just like I told y'all with that football player, Sean Oakman out of Baylor, when he got found, when he had to deal with a criminal case, not a civil case like Deshaun Watson's doing, but when he got found not guilty, you know what ESPN does? You know what Fox News does when you get found not guilty of sexual assault or rape? They'll just use a little ticker on the bottom and scroll it across the bottom. They won't have people come out and report on it. It won't be no breaking news. When you get found not guilty, it'll just come across the ticker at the bottom. They reported on it, just something very minute. But when you get accused, it's on, the story's on every day. Everybody's talking about it. They got women analysts talking about it, talking about how they, they want to galvanize people emotionally, get them emotionally invested, have them feeling one way or the other. Crazy, man. Hey, it's crazy. We gotta get to the bottom of what's really going on, though. Hold on, let me drop the link for y'all. And I see a lot of new names in the chat. If you are new in the chat, again, make sure y'all smash the like. All right, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We like to try to cook on topics. All right. But remember, when you come in and speak on this topic, remember, this is highly sensitive. All right. The cancel culture is going to be out to get, they're going to be out to get anybody that's not on the side of this woman. All right. So we got to be mindful of how we speak on her. All right. Because they're going to be waiting for one of us, me, one of y'all to come in, say something disrespectful towards us so they can report the video and try to get it taken down. Let's not do that. Remember, we can come with the max ether without saying anything disrespectful about it. All right. I'm just questioning the motives. The motives don't look right. If it's not about money, if I'm talking to her, if it's not about money, I'm going to say go to your local police station. All right. If it's not about money, don't come to a civil attorney. If it's not about money, why is the first thing you do is you go to a civil attorney, not a criminal attorney? If it's not about money, why is the first thing you do is you have your attorney ask for $100,000, but it's not about money? You can't get me to believe that this is not about money. It's crazy. He'll hold on to his innocent and fall at the rapid pace as we see. Yeah, well, Paula J, I've already stated that he's the only direction Deshaun Watson can go from here is down. His reputation will never be able to bounce back, whether he's innocent, whether he's guilty. I mean, especially if he's guilty. But even if he gets found innocent, do you know what, Paula J, do you know what ESPN does when athletes, entertainers who get charged with sexual assault are found not guilty? They'll scroll it on the ticker on the bottom of the screen. Nobody will talk about it. They won't talk about it on First Take. Stephen A. Smith won't say nothing about it. Max Kellerman won't say nothing about it. All right. None of the daily shows will talk about it. They'll put it on the ticker across the bottom of the screen if he's found not guilty, or if these charges are dropped, or if they found that they don't have a case. But if he's found guilty, or if they just want to damage his reputation in the public eye, as they're doing now, they're going to talk about it. It's all over the news. It's on TMZ, every major network. That's the facts of the matter. He can't recover from it. He will never be looked at as the same. Nike won't ever touch him. Beats by Dre won't ever touch him again. I mean, I don't know what y'all expect. I'm not here to defend Deshaun Watson. I'm just saying, based on the information that's been brought to me, based on the information that their team is putting out to me, based on the information that Deshaun Watson's team is putting out, something don't look right. And if something don't look right, we got to look into why it don't look right. That's all. It's a reason why all of the women named in this case, it's a reason why they were trying to file a motion to not have their names put out. I've told you this before, y'all. Okay. If you're dealing with models, if you're dealing with massage therapists on Instagram, it's a universal code what that booking feature actually means when it comes to athletes and entertainers. Now, you can believe this or not, but if you guys know any athletes or entertainers with a check mark, go ask them how strong that check mark is when it comes to this booking feature on Instagram. That booking feature is not used for what you guys think. It's not used to set an appointment for a massage. That's not what it's really used for. Just telling y'all the truth about it. But hey, I mean, y'all can choose to believe it or not, but these things will come out. Rusty Hardin, his attorney, is extremely good attorney. You know, they wouldn't have let the case get this far if they knew he was guilty to a certain degree, or if they knew that he didn't have compelling evidence to say otherwise. All right. But see, remember when I told y'all about the reviews? This is going to be key. Remember what I told y'all about the reviews? Not only were there a multitude of reviews since March 30th of 2020, there were a multitude of reviews that were deleted. There were a multitude of reviews from Google and Vigaro that were deleted. And so when you, and I have a FYF Sports Google page that can get reviews. I can't manually delete those reviews, but what I can do is I can go request for whatever reason to Google, this review needs to be deleted for a certain reason. And they can delete it if it's eligible for deletion. I want to know why over the last 30 days. Why over the last 30 days has she had over 30 reviews removed? Now, this is where I want you guys to do y'all homework. I want to see if y'all can find some of the same things that I found. Because what I found, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen earlier. I'm going to pull up one of the reviews. I found a review from January 20th, 2020, where the guy said, great massage. But at the end, he said it was kind of weird. He said at the end of the massage, she asked me if I wanted a little something extra, and it made it kind of weird. Why was that review deleted? Remember what I said. Remember, I want y'all to do y'all homework on this. There was a review from January 20th. All right, I'm going to pull it up for you. But there were multiple reviews like this. Okay, Paula J. Remember what the date I said? See, Paula J said she received fake reviews and death threats. Okay, that means the fake reviews would be dated for April 2021. Why would she be receiving fake reviews and death threats in January of 2020? The review that I'm referring to is January 2020. January 2020. I know, Paula, as much as you don't want to hear the information, facts are the facts. This is just the thing is, sometimes the truth hurts. January 2020. I want y'all to do y'all homework and find it the same way I found it. A guy left a review. I want y'all thoughts on this when y'all come in and cook too. He left a review, and this is what he said. Great massage. But he said at the end of the massage, she said, do you want a little something extra? And he said it made him feel uncomfortable, and he ended up leaving. I want y'all to tell me what that means. And in that guy's own right, was that harassment against him? Was he sexually harassed? Was that assault against him? Do we need to be finding that man so maybe he can press his own charges, file his own lawsuit against her? No, Paula J, that's not what I said. I didn't say the past 30 days of reviews were deleted. I said over the past 30 days, a number of reviews were deleted, not the last 30 reviews over the last 30 days. Paula J, you got to start listening. I told you, FYF Sports here, you got to keep your ears open. If you don't, you open yourself up to get a max ether yourself. But, you know, Paula J, I'm going to drop the link here. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come in because I want people who are on the other side of the spectrum to give their opinion. I have no problem with that. Again, my thoughts on this are not based on emotions. I'm just looking at the facts. And y'all know when I come with the Labatt Lane video on this, I'm going to drop facts. Y'all know this. Y'all seen the Labatt. Y'all know how Labatt Lane comes with the facts. There's no emotion involved. I come with straight facts. I'm not about to put this information out there if it's not factual. I want you to remember, these are the things you got to ask yourself before you make or formulate your opinion, because that's what a civil case is. You're formulating an opinion based on the facts, all right, or based on your thoughts on the evidence presented. So the evidence presented to me is that, okay, you offered $100,000 settlement for your silence. They didn't pay, so you file a civil suit. You say you don't want this to happen to other women, but instead of going to the police, who can actually make sure it doesn't happen to other women, you go to an attorney who all women don't have access to, and you file a civil suit. One. So is it for everybody? Two, if you listen to the first words of her statement, the first word of her statement was, I don't want my name to be forgotten. Why do you not want your name to be forgotten? You know, are you doing this for fame and publicity? Or are you doing this for all the other women that this may potentially happen to? Is it about you or is it about them? Okay, see? But see, well, the thing is, when I come and I really get y'all thinking about this, when I start bringing facts, and again, when I drop the Labatt Lane video on this and I start showing y'all the facts, I think y'all may be quite surprised. I think this is why a lot of people on Deshaun Watson's team feels like they have a very strong case. Hold on, we're going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link because I don't even want to give away too many jewels. Because when this video drops Wednesday, it's going to be crazy. Paula J says the fact that Deshaun is taking a big fumble, no doubt about that. Yeah, he's taking a big fumble. Yeah, whenever your reputation takes this type of hit, and you're always going to, you know, he may not play another game in the NFL. We're not talking about that, though. We're not talking about Deshaun Watson's reputation here. We're talking about the facts of innocent or guilt. I can honestly not care about the reputation. You know, when you're a superstar to that degree, one of the things you have to be mindful of are the people that you put yourself around. All right, the people that you deal with. All right, it was a mistake on his part to be dealing with over 20 and 30 different massage therapists some of which he had sexual interactions with. That's a mistake on his part that could potentially cost him. Link is in the chat. All right, I'm going to pull up some more of this information. But again, I want you guys to really think, and we got to look at this beyond the surface level because there's a lot of stuff that's getting looked over. All right. And then Paula J, that link right there, I just dropped it in the chat. Just hit that link. Remember, it's not hostile. It's not volatile. We can bring you onto the live panel. We can really hear your thoughts and opinions on this because I want everybody's thoughts and opinions on this, regardless of the angle that you're coming from. There's, and there's also, there's so much information out there about this particular incident. There's so much information. I want y'all to come in and explain why. Ashley Solis says she hasn't been able to work since March 2020, but her website shows that she's been working since then. Why is that? She has a multitude of reviews that suggest a lot of extremely satisfied customers. And the one thing that we know with reviews is reviews do not represent every single customer that you have. It represents a small percentage of the customers that you have. So we can only assume, based on the large number of reviews that she has, it's been even more customers. But we can't talk about that, can we? We got Wyme TV in here. Salute, man. Thanks for hopping in. What are your thoughts on this?
What's going on, Lamont? How you?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man? What are your thoughts on this Deshaun Watson situation, man? Have you been able to do some research on it? What do you think about all the news that's coming out about this?
The thing that I find very ironic is, like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything or try to say point the blame or point the finger at anybody. Why did all this come out all of a sudden once the man wanted out of Houston? Like, now his reputation is so damaged to the point where even if he ain't guilty of none of this stuff, it's been like 100 women. Just being funny, he's saying 100 women, but like, how many more? Like, why did all this start coming out now? And then you hear people recanting their statements. Now you telling us that you had sexual encounters with each other that was consensual. It's like a witch hunt for this man right now, and I don't know what to believe, whose side to take. I'm just trying to play the middle and see how it play out. But he damned if he do, he damned if he don't. Like you said, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know, man. This shit is just crazy, Lamont, man. It's like, how can this man go from the most beloved figure in the city to the most hated man in the city? That's literally a couple just because he wanted to be.
Hey, man, it's hard to say. Sometimes people can use your vices against you. This is a situation where they definitely are using his vices against him. Let me go to Lee and Jacob Jennings. Salute. Thanks for hopping in. But we're going to go to Lee real quick. Lee, what are your thoughts, man, on this Deshaun Watson situation, man? Does something not seem right to you, or do you think he's guilty?
Well, first and foremost, salute to you, my brother Lamont. I emailed you my phone number. I know you kind of took it down last week, but I know you were busy, so I didn't want to disturb you.
Okay.
But check the email.
All right.
Secondly, as the last brother said, it's kind of weird that all of this came out as soon as he refused to play another down for the Texans. That doesn't mean he's innocent, but that doesn't mean he's guilty either. So the court of law says you're innocent until proven guilty. So I'm giving him that benefit of the doubt, but I'm playing the middleman here, and I'm just gonna wait for the facts to come out. It's alarming. I can't sit here and say some of the women sound believable, but just because they may not sound believable doesn't mean that they're not telling the truth. But like I said, I'm just going to play the middleman and allow the facts to present itself and then go from there.
Facts. That's one thing we have to do. That's the main thing, allowing the facts to present itself. And the one thing that I've said, remember, y'all, even if the facts present themselves and this man is found not guilty, he's not going to be able to recover reputation-wise. I mean,
that's the sad part.
That's the sad part.
That's the sad part. He could be as innocent as any human being could possibly be, and his name will lose credibility, or his character will still lose credibility for the rest of his life, all because of accusations.
Let me put this on the screen real quick, and then I'm gonna go to Jacob Jennings as he just hopped in here. This is one of the reviews. Now, this was a Google review that was deleted. All right. Now, I have about 17 other ones that were deleted. This was January 20th, 2020. All right. He said the communication, he said, was good, professionalism, quality. He says, came here January 2020 because of back pain I experienced from overextending myself at the gym. Ashley was very professional until when my session was up. She tried to pressure me to paying more money to feel good. Disgusting. I just said no thanks and left promptly. He's a local guide. All right. So when you get labeled as a local guide on Google, that means you've left multiple reviews. He's left multiple reviews for Houston businesses, and this was a review dating back to January 2020. Now, again, there are a number of reviews that are very alarming. This is just one of them. All right. And so I put that up there to say that and then these reviews were not deleted until within the last 30 days, which is when all of this lawsuit stuff started to pop up. Why? Jacob Jennings, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I thought at one point Deshaun Watson was considering trade from the Houston Texans. I thought maybe he, asked for a trade, and that's when I started to see all these allegations come out about him. So, I just find that rare. Not to get into Deshaun Watson's personal life, but also I'm not sure if he was in a relationship with some young lady I seen, and I saw this
another
woman.
YouTuber. Yeah, another YouTuber.
Yeah, but I was like, I find that strange. This is a beautiful woman.
Yes,
I just don't see how. I mean, now as bad as that woman that he got, are we talking about just average women? I know NFL players get special treatment, as far as medical treatment. I'm sure the NFL probably either pays for a personal trainer, all those type of people that work with them, different specialists, strictly for them, right? And I just kind of find that strange. He did ask for a trade, and then all of a sudden, all these allegations come out. I mean, the only thing I can say is, man, this is kind of how corporate slavery is, man. Another way for them to control you, and when you have that type of control, hey, we paying you multi. That wasn't a problem when the money and the checks and everything else was going out that you making. Then all of a sudden, I'm seeking a trade. Hey, maybe it's best for me to look elsewhere. I want to go play for a new team. So I just kind of find that strange that Deshaun Watson would, like I said, very talented quarterback, but that's the only thing I can really relate to. But going back to the trade before we asked about the trade. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this I'm looking at some of the facts of this particular case, and then we're gonna go to I'm gonna go to unpopular opinion next. Just looking at some of the facts of this case, some of these things just don't add up. And we talk about here's when I listened to her statement, one of the things that stood out to me. I want to break this down further in my video Wednesday. Ashley Solis mentioned that her father was a diehard Texas fan, and that now he cannot mention Deshaun Watson's name without getting upset. She also went to say that she cannot do the career that she loves most because of the situation. Remember, she said this. She said she cannot do the career that she loves most because of the situation. Solis further went on to say about Deshaun Watson, we were all deceived into thinking he was a good guy, but we know that sometimes good guys do bad things. Okay, this is a statement right here. She said out of her mouth that she cannot continue doing the career she loves because of this situation. But over the last year, her business has been thriving, and she's been doing her job extremely well. How all of a sudden can you not do your business appropriately because of this situation when your reviews suggest that business is booming? Not booming, and booming to a certain degree to where guys are even saying that you offered them extras that they had to turn down. This is unpopular opinion. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, brother, thanks for having me on tonight, man. Salute to the panel, salute to everybody.
What's up?
And look, this I'm from Houston, bro, and it's really hitting this city hard because Deshaun Watson got a lot of respect in these streets for the stuff he had done to a lot of people dealing with all these situations with Harvey and all that, getting food out to kids, putting shoes on kids' feet, all kind of stuff he doing in the communities. And to see this man go through all this stuff, maybe I'm a little biased, but you feel me? Just see him going through all this, I just don't get it, But like I said, the part that's really, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered, I know you're gonna get into all that stuff on your next video. Waiting to see that, but some nuggets for you to take a look at. Bugsby. Bugsby is a real high-profile lawyer out here, and I'm trying to. Why would all these, that one woman choose him out of all the lawyers in Houston? You get what I'm saying? That one particular person, one particular lawyer that only take high-profile corporate cases. You get him. Where do you get the connections to get in contact with him? Because with all these lawyers out here, bro, like I've been asking myself that question the last couple of days. I'm like, why would she go to Tony Bugsby of all people? But where you have the connections even to get out with him? Because usually lawyers like that with that kind of stature don't take cases like that. They just don't. They trying to make it sound like it's not about money, but you taking this case. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of other questions out here, man. And like I said, I just don't understand why from my standpoint, I think he did make a mistake though, having all these different women but at the same time, it's his choice. If he want to have 1,000, he can afford to have 1,000 masseuses. He should be able to have 1,000. But like I said, if somebody was hurt in the process, they should be heard. You feel me? I'm not saying that they're not, but I just tell everybody until we get more of these questions asked and get these women out here, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's that's all I got to say, but I don't want to hold y'all up. But
hey, here's my thing right here, and then we're gonna go to one cool P next. The one thing that I think that a lot of these women did not want to go to the police, because as soon as you go to the police about a case like this, they're going to want to dive into your social media messages. They're going to want to dive into your phone records, phone messages. They're going to want to literally get their hands on every piece of information, because the standard and the burden of proof is so much higher in a criminal case. They can't just recklessly just say, we're going to charge you because she said so. They have to be able to build some type of case. And this is the thing. When these things happen, I don't care if you do it 6 months later, when your first thought is to go to a civil attorney and you don't deal with this as a legal matter, and you are allowing the other side to come out and say that you requested $100,000 in hush money, how seriously can I take you? I think right now I think it's just about damaging his reputation. Right now the case has become more valuable to Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson now probably wouldn't hesitate to pay $500,000 to make this go away, but it would look extremely bad on his image if he did so. So now he has to fight it through to the end. One Cool P, what are your thoughts on this?
You said just exactly what I was thinking. I from the beginning thought this was a money grab, but a lot of people seems to think that, why does a man need so many masseuses? Well, during the pandemic, that's all they could do, and I don't think the teams pay for your personal massage. People now they got people there within the team that work for the team, but all that other personal, if you want some extra massage, you have to get that on your own. But why do it from Instagram? Me and you, I think we talked about this one time before, and I felt like that because as Instagram models, that was a little shady anyway. Well, but I got a whole different take and a whole different feel. I don't hardly believe anything that majority of these women have said. Like I said from the beginning, I always thought that this was a money grab.
What's your take on it?
On what? On which part?
On this, you said you had a whole nother take on it. What did you have? Another direction you was going?
Dude, we be all night because you know my lifestyle and where I come from and what I've seen and experienced and gone through. So I just don't. The optics, at least from my end, when I'm looking at everything, and I'm trying to be non-biased. When I'm looking at everything, it all points to a money grab to me. And I don't see how this isn't like. Remember that situation with that attorney with Nike when he asked Nike to ante up some money. Yeah, when he asked Nike to pay some money. And Nike said, "You're not about to blackmail us." Nike went to the federal government and got that man charged with federal crimes. How is requesting money or will take you to civil court? How is that not blackmail? Exactly my point. And then all that ties right on to R. Kelly. But R. Kelly's still sitting in there with a dude that was doing blackmail crap to Nike. How come y'all don't think that, he ain't doing something illegal towards R. Kelly to keep him in there? But back to Deshaun. The girls, man, hey, we don't know. I mean, them girls could have wanted more money. They could have been talking and found out that one of them got more money than the other. Now they mad. Maybe one of them want to be his main squeeze and then find out he got the beautiful young lady that posted a picture of herself that says, "I'm his girlfriend and look at me." She didn't say it exactly that way, but that's what the pose told me. I mean, she's out there putting herself out there saying, "Yo, right? See me? He got to do that when he's got me." That was her pose to me. Okay.
Man,
I don't get it. But I will say this: sometimes a massage can get a little pleasant. I gave a dude a massage one time. He's straight out of the military. Now, hold on. Caveat. He was straight out of the military. First day home from over there from, where the hell that dude come from? One of them sand countries. Don't get me started. And I think that's the first time he'd been touched by an American woman, I want to say. And it was just a massage. Nothing sexual. Didn't lean my body up against him. I was fully clothed. And dude, he calmed all over himself. So it can happen. But then again, I did go to school for massage therapy, but I had to because my father had a leg amputated, and I went to school to learn how to do massage on his amputated leg. So,
man, hey, that's
real
crazy.
Right there.
Facts. I
respect that right.
We're gonna go to Astro. Astro, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm hopefully I'm hoping that Deshaun Watson is innocent in all this, but like everyone been saying in the span on like everybody else in the sports network saying Even though he's innocent, his reputation is never going to be the same. People going to look at him as a, you know, a fiend to like all the women and like massage therapists and stuff like that. Even though he is innocent, could be innocent and all this, they'll probably still think, he's using women and stuff like that. Even though that's not the case if he's innocent, but it's kind of hard to say all women is lying in the 22 case. Hopefully they're all lying. Maybe they just go digging for money and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard to say all 22 women is lying, but hopefully that's the case that they are lying. But like you just said about the whole her taking it to the police, and they have to look at the social media stuff. Maybe that's why she didn't do it in the beginning, because like they probably would have found that review you was talking about. The one guy had went over, saying she offered like sexual favors and massage and stuff like that, So she would probably would have got caught right there. So maybe that's why she didn't go to the police right ahead and talked about that. But hopefully, Deshaun Watson's innocent and all this. But if he's guilty, this is like all on him. Like 22 different masseuses. Like I know athletes that hire their personal trainers and take them wherever they go, whatever road trip they go, whatever long homestand they do, like a 5-3 game homestand, they always have the personal trainer there with them. So hopefully if he gets out of this unscathed, he'll learn now, just like keep one masseuse, because like Shannon Sharp said, undisputed, he only had one masseuse for like 20 something years in the NFL, because he knows his body and masseuse knows his body as well. You don't need to go get all these different masseuses if you have that one guy that knows, or girl that knows your body as well as you do. So that's pretty much I have.
The one thing we know with Deshaun Watson, again, remember I said people could use your vices against you. Maybe he had a sex addiction. Maybe he liked the conquest of dealing with multiple women. Maybe that was just his thing, and he knew he can get it very easily and quickly through IG. As an athlete myself, one of the things that I learned quickly is that athletes did not know how to talk to women very well. Coming out of college, it's become so easy for them to have interactions with women that they don't know how to communicate. So Instagram was the perfect medium for these guys to get to the women that they want, because they don't have to interact with them face to face. They can only deal with the ones that are giving them what they want. And if you're not giving them what they want, they can move on to the next in a few clicks. So, I mean, that's just something to think about. I'm going to read this to y'all before I go to Kid Trunks. This is a masseuse. Her name is Masako Jones. She's 39 years old. She told ESPN that she was flabbergasted by the allegations against Watson. She's a 6-year licensed massage therapist. She worked with Watson several times starting in October 2019, and she says she found him to be professional, polite, and respectful. Jones said it's typical for athletes to ask for treatment in the growing areas, and that less experienced therapists might have misunderstood Watson's request. She said, I'm not sure how these women may have misconstrued what he was requesting as anything sexual. Jones also told ESPN that she can recall 2 occasions when Watson developed an erection during her massage sessions with him. That detail was not included in her statement, but Jones told ESPN erection does not equal being turned on or sexually aroused. It could just be a relaxed state. See, when you know what you're doing, and when you're in this field and you know what you're doing and you know what to expect, when you see these things, it's not as shocking, and you don't panic and jump to the wrong conclusion. She said an experienced massage therapist would not have taken that the wrong way, especially when you're dealing with athletes who need those growing massages. And she's worked with the U.S. men's track team. So she's probably worked with hundreds of men, and she's probably seen this hundreds of times. Again, this is all things that we need to put into context, because just like we're talking about the 22 women that say he did something, nobody is really talking about the other 20 some odd women who are saying he's extremely respectable and didn't do anything crazy with them. Why is one side getting a voice, but the others who are saying something completely opposite, they're not getting a voice on ESPN. They're not getting a voice on TMZ. Nobody's putting a mic in their face. The media only wants to put out the toxic portion of this case. They don't want to really put out. And the only reason this lady was able to get on ESPN is because of her affiliation with the U.S. men's national team. She had a little clout behind her name. Craziness. Kid Trunks, what you got on this?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy and weird that soon when he asked for a trade, when he wanted 100% out of the Houston Rockets, all of a sudden 20 females just accused him of being sexual with the massage workers. But we don't know if he's innocent or guilty, and we'll just let the court decide. But I do feel like he's a little bit more innocent in my eyes because I don't see enough proof or evidence, and some of it just don't make sense. Is the accuser number one the woman that was crying on TV?
Yes, that's Ashley Solis.
Wow, that just shows you right there that just the fame, the clout chasing and stuff like that females would do to accuse a man of a horrific crime, something like that in that magnitude. And it's just crazy to me because now like these allegations for all these 20 women, nobody would never look Deshaun Watson the same. It does not matter. They will not look at this guy the same, even if he's 100. Let's say if he's 100% innocent, nobody not gonna look at this dude the same. You cannot run away from being a rapist, bro. He being accused of rapist. Let's say you was innocent, people will still remember you for that sometimes, or any other horrific crime or some bullshit. That's why I'm saying like, listen to me now. I got some friends. They went to D1 schools. They playing football and shit. I tell them, hey, you better go to college. You better be a beast. The female's gonna be all over you. When you gonna have sex or massage, I'm sorry to say, you gotta record it. Just because it's gonna be your word against hers. Because I see multiple
in college now. If you're a D1 athlete, now a lot of the athletes don't go by it, but they give the players waivers. And if you have an interaction with somebody that you can potentially turn sexual, you're supposed to have her sign that waiver. And so this is why in college they don't give as much leniency. So if you get accused of one of these types of crimes, they're going to say, well, how come you didn't have her sign that waiver? So it's always going to fall back on the athlete in college because it's their responsibility. If you get into those types of situations, you need to make sure if this is somebody that you're not closely involved with, you make sure that they sign that waiver or don't deal with them. So that's understandable to a certain degree in college, where the onus really falls on the players. And if they don't make them sign that waiver, well, it's always going to fall on the player. Now we're talking about in this setting where we're dealing with two professionals. I'm curious to see what's in those IG messages. Who else have you been dealing with to this degree?
Me too. I'm not just saying college students. I'm saying all athletes out there. Celebrities, you're gonna have sexual intercourse with women, you better record it. That's my opinion. Because it'll be your words against hers. And what they do in court, they always lead to the woman. And I don't blame them, because if I see a crying woman, I'm gonna lean to her. And that's just human nature right there. Now you just record your shit. Even massages too. Any sexual act, anything that gets a little bit too hectic, you gotta record it.
But I've seen cases where just the recording of it is considered harassment.
In your own home and house? In your own home?
Yes.
In your own home?
Yes, there's privacy laws against that. Yeah.
What?
You can get that you got to be careful with that too in certain states. That could turn into a crime in and of itself.
Well, you better look it up.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, recorded Jeff Williams. I'm right. I'm saying facts.
What was you about to say, One Cool P?
I said I was glad to see that lawyer that Deshaun got asked for the names to be released of the girls, of the ladies, because that way in doing that, the next step is now that their names is out there and we know who they are, you've embarrassed the hell out of my client. You've ruined his reputation. And now I have the right, they can go in there and do all kinds of subpoenas and everything, and subpoena, like you said, those records, those phones, those accounts, those everything. And now everything will come out. But here's another thing I wanna get you to check out. Remember when what's the man's name? Tom Brady, TB12. Remember when he put out what was that documentary he did with his massage person, his guru that travels with him? Time of Tom, some kind of crap. I can't think of the name of the documentary now, but there was a part when Edelman had walked in on him, and it looked like he was jacking off Tom because he came in from behind, and the motion that he was giving on Tom leg was kind of way up and out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that get up in there and that growing, you gotta almost be in that position if you want that area up in that growing massaged.
Yep.
And that was a funny part because when he came around and he looked, he was like, "Whew." He thought he walked in on his massage therapist doing something sexual to Tom.
Yep.
So that's something to be really thought about, you know, because it just hit me when you said that lady talked about that like that, and you're absolutely right because that growing muscle is way up in there in that thigh, hip, inner area. It's get up in there.
I can
Hell
tell you,
yeah.
I can tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know one dude in here. I don't care if you have intentions or not. If you have a woman massaging you like that, something's gonna happen, and you just have to be prepared when it does. And I think they already are. The ones, like she said, like the professional said, she said, we expect stuff like that to happen because that just comes with the territory when you're massaging those types of muscles. That's what happens. And just like one cool piece said, something happened with her when she gave a massage, even though nothing like that was even intended. It comes with the territory. Now, what is, you can't run out and say sexual harassment on some of these incidents when you're dealing with a field that's, you know, very touchy feely. Things can happen. All right, hold on. Yep, growing treatment fucking hurts. Yeah. I mean, the closest I had my what do you call it? My IT band worked on, and they really had to dig into my leg and my growing area a little bit, but that's about the closest. Didn't have anything crazy happen though. Hold on, what else we got here? Have any of y'all read any reports or anything about this? Maybe outside of what ESPN is reporting?
Only the first accuser with the 100K. That's the only thing I seen.
Yeah,
I read where Deshaun said that there has been times that there was something sexual that did happen between him and one or two of the girls. But he said it was all consensual. It was nothing that, you know, she didn't want and I didn't want. And I'm glad he went on and put that out there like that because, you know, hey, sometimes, especially because the first red flag to me was IG girls. IG, you know, why you looking on Instagram? I mean, because when I hear IG, I think of chicks trying to advertise their bodies, their makeup, their face, their hair, but mostly their bodies and making money off that. Instagram models, you know what I mean? Now you gonna go on IG and ask somebody like, and then you know, it's said that he would ask them, can they do massages anyway? Even though one of the girls allegedly said, I don't do massage. Okay, can you do one anyway? Right there was a red flag to me because it's like, okay, with Deshaun, you kind of killing yourself here, dude. I mean, why would you book someone that's not experienced? Now, caveat to that is he did say all of this was around pandemic time. Massage companies were closed down. Wasn't nobody allowed to do anything. So he said he had no choice but to turn to IG and find someone on there that was willing to come and give him a massage. So we still have to keep that in mind when we hear these women say this and we hear him say that.
That does look a little suspicious, but I kind of get your point.
Yeah.
See, who knows? He probably just wanted a pretty woman to just rub him down or whatever. But
who don't?
Yeah,
what,
who don't?
Name me one man that don't.
Yeah, especially
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fat right there.
Shit, I'd love to find me a young, good-looking man. Hey.
Okay. Didn't Robert Kraft from the Patriots try to get a massage, or he got caught in the massage parlor?
He didn't try.
Exactly.
He
Jerry
didn't try.
Jones.
He got caught in a sting.
Jerry Jones.
No, we're talking about the Robert Kraft. He got caught in the sting. He definitely got caught on videotape.
And then Kraft's dumb butt, he said, "That's my girlfriend."
Jerry Jones ain't
He
getting no
did.
massage. He had some strippers though.
Oh yeah, Jerry love him some strippers. Have you seen inside the Texas Stadium? You see them poles, them girls up there, them platform, them
Yeah.
girls dancing. But
Oh my God.
you ever notice it's the thickums? It's the thickums that's up there around them poles dancing. It's them bean poses down there, with the pom poms. That tell you what Jerry like. Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
True that.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, but it's 22 women though. I just don't see it though. Like 20 females just coming out of nowhere, just accusing this man of some that's a high crime. And let's just say they all, Deshaun Watson, like this, none of this is true. All this is just fake accusations and shit. I don't see how females can just group each other together and do some shit like this.
That's what they did. That's what they did to Bill Cosby. Waited all, and that's the problem I had with Bill Cosby. They had all these years, and y'all waited till this man is blind, crippled, and crazy, and about to start. Hello, here's a lot of things that people ain't paying attention to. The man was about to start him a network. He was about to open up him a network on the cable TV. Okay, his own network, and these people couldn't handle that, so they brought in these chicks from out of nowhere. Yeah, okay. Only when you about to make that move. R. Kelly was about to open up his own studio and start having his own recording artists. We can't do that. We need you to stay up under us, Negro. Just pay attention.
Hey, you know what's so crazy about that Bill Cosby thing is, I mean, for people who maybe are, let's say you 10, 20 years removed from high school or even college, I mean, can you honestly think back onto all or any particular encounter that you might have had and remember it exactly as it happened? And they're talking about Bill Cosby. We're talking to man. We're not just talking 10, 20 years. We're talking about allegations that were happening in the 70s.
In the 70s.
And y'all are telling me y'all can recount this stuff clearly. I can't even recount some stuff, 5 years ago. I can't even recount stuff clearly. But you're talking about you can go back 40 years. I mean, some of this stuff gets to a point where you have to say that there's a time constraint on some of these things.
You would think so. You would think so.
You gotta put a statute of limitations on.
And that one chick, she said she was trying to get a job on the show, on the Cosby Show that he promised her, or on that one he did with the college kids. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. But she said he would come by. She didn't have a place to live, right? So he put her up inside this brownstone type of apartment thing, and he would come by the house. That's what she said. He would come by the house. She would cook dinner. She said she even served some drinks. He wanted some wine, so she served some wine. They went over their lines. Something happens. She wakes up later and she's all moist downstairs and this, that, and the other. Her clothes ain't on right. But wait a minute. Okay, if I'm mad about that, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm done. If that's not something that I wanted to endure or go through. But you stayed and he came back and you cooked dinner again. Where's your complaint at?
Right. That's crazy, man. But the thing with R. Kelly is, man, he did pee on a 13-year-old girl, man. I ain't gonna forget about that shit.
Hey, the R. Kelly situation is completely different from the.
Oh no, I thought y'all brought up R. Kelly some shit. My fault.
Hey, Lamont.
My fault.
Yeah,
but we can't hang R. Kelly for something that he did back then. Now this what I'm gonna say on that. Now I'm gonna shut up. R. Kelly, okay, yeah, he might have been guilty. That all right, hell, he was guilty. All right, shit. But here's the deal. But here's the deal. The shit that they're trying to get him for now, these girls wasn't even young like that child. These women, these girls here were 17 and 18. 17 maybe sound kind of odd, but in most states, 17 is legal consent. If you're 17, you legal to consent to some shit, we ain't got no problem. And the next thing is, R. Kelly got paperwork from these families where these families signed over those girls to him. And whatever wording you want to put it, they consented. The families consented for them girls to live with him, to travel with him, and everything. And guess what? R. Kelly was putting money in these parents' pockets and their bank accounts on a monthly basis. It's when the money stopped, when the parents went to bitching. But the money stopped because the girls now turn 18, 20, 21. I ain't got to pay you fools no more. These girls are grown enough to make their decisions. They love me. They want to stay with me. Now these mamas and daddies, stepdaddy, is mad and pissed off and want to claim foul play. Well, hold on. Talking about he brainwashed them. When this man's in jail because he brainwashed some 2 girls to live with him and both of them said they love him. Y'all still got this man locked up because of that? Come on now, let's keep that real.
You should still be in jail though with the shit he did.
What shit he did? What'd he do? From
The
what, the
13-year-old girl, some little
Look here,
girl.
you
Go to
can't.
hell,
You can't.
man. You do some
He
shit
was,
like that.
but look. He was not convicted of that. You can't convict him now with 2 separate, total different chicks for something that you didn't get him for. Come on, let's not repeat. Let's not repeat what's I do. OJ Simpson. Let's not repeat that. Come on.
Man,
Don't go and try to screw over me because you couldn't convict me for killing my ex-wife. And I don't think he did that. I think his son did it. And that's why he covered. That's why the gloves didn't fit. They was his son's gloves. The son just got through cutting up his girlfriend. Almost the same kind of manner. The son did it. Oh, I'm just saying.
You ain't gonna get no respect from me if you a pedophile. You can go straight to hell.
It's not about that, but the point is, if you get so caught up on something that he was found not guilty on, and then you try to use that past action to justify why you're charging him for a new action that seemingly is debatable whether it was even illegal or not. I mean, that's 2 different things. That's all we're saying. He was found not guilty of it. However you want to slice it.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but
we can judge him, and that goes to Deshaun Watson. Even though he was found not guilty, you still have your opinion on what he did or didn't do. Because the girl said it wasn't her when she went on stand and talked about it, or when she was talking about it to police, she was saying it wasn't her. Everybody else said it was her. So I mean, we can only go.
Daddy said it wasn't her.
We can only go off of the courts. They found him not guilty.
True that. I'm saying Watson's he might be innocent. That's what I'm saying because there's no proof of federal evidence.
I'm actually surprised that the NFL didn't put Deshaun Watson on the exempt list by now.
I think that it's harder for them to put him on the exempt list. It's for a civil case.
Right.
On top of the fact he's such a high-powered, like high-profile athlete, like they don't just throw him on there and then you come to find out 2-3 weeks from now that this was all completely made up and it was a sham. Then the NFL looks dumb for jumping the gun.
Right.
So.
Right.
I got a question for the panel. Do y'all think after that first press conference, when he told telling all these multiple women to join on a lawsuit, do you think that encouraged a lot of these women just to hop on?
Well, what they showed was you can hop onto this lawsuit with very little evidence and get some money.
That's what they did.
They're playing the numbers game right now. They're basically saying, if you just hop onto this, you don't have to come with very strong evidence. We're going to play the numbers game. It's 20 of you guys versus him. They're gonna say because there's so many women claiming this, one of these has to be true. So there's a financial incentive for those women to jump on board, and they can just get to trying to delete IG messages and try to cover their tracks with other people where they might have done the same thing. They can try, and they know in a civil case the likelihood of an investigative attorney or some type of private investigator digging into that is slim to none. If you're dealing with a criminal case, you're turning all that over, and if you deleted messages, they're gonna find out. You can delete Snapchat messages and they can go get them things. You people be thinking Snapchat to say they can go recover those messages. So this is one of the reasons why I felt they didn't want to go to the police, because the police are going to be asking for you to turn stuff over. And it is.
Hey, wait, bro. I was thinking that they didn't go to criminal court because now the accusers can get prison time for perjury and X, Y, and Z. Now there are repercussions on the other side as well. So that's
not as much. I mean, I don't consider a year in prison very, very, very tough. That's not enough.
Especially after the way you ruined this man's name and reputation. He'll never get
Right.
that reputation back. That's just like you, my man, whoever you, I don't know your name. I'm not gonna try to disrespect you and try to even call you something different. But dude, that's just like you. You want to hang R. Kelly for a case that he didn't get convicted on, whether he did it or not. He didn't get convicted of it. But you can never forget about that.
Okay. All right. That's what I feel about it. That's it. Look, man. Look, I'm saying Deshaun Watson is. I think he's more towards innocent. There's not enough proof and evidence or facts about this. That's all I'm saying. Don't think because if one man gets committed of a crime and he doesn't go to jail for that crime and he goes to jail for a different crime, I'm necessarily going to accuse him or anything like that. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying anything of that.
Right. And Lamont, another nugget for your video, Lamont. I know you're gonna put it out. Bugsby came out at that interview saying that he didn't know who the owner of the Texas team was, which is a lie. He paid to have multiple billboards up trying to persuade the team to draft the players, calling out their family names. So I know he know their team. Now you want to act I know the team. So that's another fact to some of you.
What they're gonna do, he's gonna do everything to distance himself from the owner of that team because they don't want mainstream media trying to piece that puzzle together on them. So they're going to try to do this. Yeah, they're going to distance that. All of that's overshadowed right now because ESPN will never even go that angle because then it'll look like ESPN is victim blaming. People are going to start coming out against ESPN saying, "Oh, you're blaming the victim. You're trying to say that it's not true." So ESPN is only all about the woman is right until otherwise proven wrong. We've seen this time and time again. That's their MO.
And I tell everybody, the crazy part about another thing I was always thinking about, man, even with the NBA, I mean, with all this opinion TV, these media companies are paying all these big organizations, man, and they always want to be right. And a lot of the organizations, from my point of view, are doing things along the lines to appease the big media conglomerates that are giving them these big deals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. It's these civil cases are weird. I don't know how this civil case is going to go, but I think Deshaun Watson now has no choice but to take it all the way to trial. Anything else, it's going to – if he does anything else, he might not ever play football again. If he gets found not guilty in trial, he can play again. His reputation will be done. He may not get any major endorsements, but he will play again if he gets found not guilty by a jury.
Right. I hope he takes it all away because this is gonna set a precedent, especially with this Me Too stuff going on right now. This case is very, very important though, because he's deciding to fight it rather than just say, you know what, I'm just gonna walk away from my job, my career, everything, my whole livelihood. And I think him stepping up front in the beginning saying, you know what, I'm gonna fight it. That shows a lot of heart, number two, and that's being, not being a part of that narrative. What guys want to do, they want to shut up and go in the closet and wait for society to decide their fate. And I appreciate him for doing that because, like I said, I'm from Houston, and we really believe in him. And the media trying to tell us that we all crazy and we part of this conspiracy theories about this a whole big deal as soon as he wanted to leave. Like you could put two and two together. It just crazy once this man said, you know what? I don't want $150 million. Not to everybody too. People don't think about $150 million for a young buck like that. That's a lot of money, bro. To just turn down. You got a team, the offense, you got a team around you, and you say, hey, I don't want $150 million. I want to turn down all that money to go to a different team. And I think that a lot of the big guys, the powers that be, knowing, hey, look, we can't control this little guy. You get what I'm saying? So now we got to put him in this place. And like I said, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I just think it's a lot of things orchestrated behind the scenes, linking in all these different kind of entities to make this thing happen the way they want. Because, you don't hear the media talking about all the things that Deshaun Watson them doing on their side. You know what I mean? You only hearing what's going on with these women. Nothing was really going on with. But see, the problem is with the way they doing is that people need to hear the truth though, because this does matter to a lot of folks out here, especially for the people of Houston. It matters a whole lot what happens to him. It really does.
The fact that Ashley Solis is that her team is leaking out and allowing so much information to get out. What they're doing is they're trying to allow the public to be judge and jury, and they're not trying to really have this done in court, because when you get this in court and you really have to sort through the evidence and we see what's real and what's fake in front of that jury, you can't play these media games where you're just trying to get a whole bunch of people on your side so you can look right. And again, we don't hear a lot coming from Deshaun Watson's side because he has a good attorney and he probably has a strong case. So why would I leak my case out when I know I can just get you in court and just win in court, as opposed to leaking all my information out, just trying to win in the media? They got to be smart. That's how you tell he has a good attorney. And we see the two different strategies. One's trying to win in the public eye. One's trying to win the real case and try to save his client's career.
Hey, Lamont, let me and salute to everybody on the panel.
Oh, what's up, Tasha?
What up? I mean, my 2 cents on this, like, at the same, well, with Deshaun having so many massage therapists working on him, that's not a good look. But at the same time, speaking from a former D1 athlete, I used to give massages from a lot of masseuses myself. I had a real serious neck injury, and even though we had a team massage therapist that would come and massage everybody, he personally told me to come to him, and he had a massage school, so a lot of his students, they would work on me. And every massage therapist, they don't give the same massage. Some might give you a hard massage, some might give you a soft massage. I mean, it's different experience with each one of them. So maybe that might be a reason why he had so many therapists. And I could tell you about an incident one time where she was massaging me, and she kind of got to my groin area and kind of got aroused a little bit. And I told her, I apologized to her. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to happen like that. But she was like, oh no, it's okay. It happens all the time. I'm a professional. I know how to deal with it. So with that point, a lot of those ladies, if they were taking offense to that, that just shows their inexperience, just like you said earlier, about them not being a professional and taking it the wrong way. And so my thing with Deshaun Watson on his side, if so many women is filing a false accusation towards you, why is he not countersuing these women?
Because at first he didn't even know their names. He just got the complete list. The lawyer had to go in there and get that, so he can't countersue. Now he can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now you got a list of women. I mean, and it's probably even more women that might come in the future too to add up to those lists. But for the women that you do know,
clear
why
your name
won't you
first.
just go?
Because you clear your name. You do what you got to do to fight, to get all the evidence, like we already discussed. How you might not have been there when everybody said.
Oh no, I've been listening.
Okay, but then once they get the phone records, their IG accounts, this, that, and the other, and find out who all and what all's been doing what in the past, and this, that, and the other, you clear your name first. Once you get that cleared, now it's time to go back and countersue.
Right. So you basically saying they got to wait for. You want to wait for the trial's over with, then you countersue. Is that what
if there's even a trial? Because right now this is just some silver shit.
Mm-hmm. It may not even get to trial.
Right. Yes, I don't go to trial. I don't think.
But either way, you wait till everything is done and then you countersue.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that point, and I mean, it still might be a chance. It's just me myself. That'll be the first thing. Is like I'm just trying to clear my name. I know his attorney's probably doing a good job on not letting him speak out in the public, because just as a human being, you will want to react first before you even think about the consequences afterwards.
Tasha, I'm gonna give you an example of somebody who's speaking out in a similar situation and is really screwing them over. Look at Matt Gaetz. The situation with him, supposedly paying all these girls with Cash App and Venmo to travel with him and have sex, and some of these girls were underage. All of a sudden, when these allegations come up, he's running to every news outlet trying to talk about it, and he just keeps digging himself in a deeper hole. The number one best thing you can do for yourself when this happens is shut up.
Shut up.
Just and it's a problem. Sometimes you can't talk your way out of everything. Sometimes just shut up And Matt Gaetz is right now. We just seen his business partner is working with the prosecutor's office. He's signing his plea deal right now. He shut up and just signed the plea deal.
But he's in jail though.
Yeah.
He's in jail for a bigger crime. All he's doing is he's talking. I'm giving you a bigger fish. So I get some lesser time to get up out of here.
Yep.
But see, and then like I know that they had posted like a few text messages here and there of him and the masseuse. Some of the stuff that was in the messages, it just didn't seem like something was too serious. Like it's not like he grabbed the woman's ass or he forced the woman to do anything.
One girl claimed he did grab her by the butt.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Well, I did. I had looked over that one.
One did say that.
But I don't know. It's just all this stuff just kind of fishy to me. I mean, just like you guys are saying, and I don't know. I kind of think he's innocent too, but just like you said, you just gotta wait for the evidence to come out all together before we can even form an opinion on it. But it's just I don't know. It's just kind of weird with me, man. That just whole situation. I think he'll still end up playing though at the end of the day, because I mean you had Mike Vick end up going to jail for killing dogs, and you had Peter at every game. So I mean I feel like if the talent outweighs the issue, then a team would take a risk on bringing him aboard. I mean he might get less money than when he wants to, but at the same time I feel like a lot of owners feel like if he can win them games, then shoot, they don't matter what happened in the past.
Well, yeah,
do you still feel like let's say if Deshaun Watson is innocent, do you still feel like he'll still be playing for Houston, Texans?
No. He's not playing with Houston. He's done with Houston. He's done with Houston.
Let me tell you my point
of view though, and stuff like that.
Hold on, go ahead.
I think he might be playing for Houston though.
Do you think?
Nah, it might be over for him.
Nah, man, he out, man.
It's just my thought process. Like I said, I'm from Houston, so you know, I
want
think
him to play for Houston.
Oh, you want him to? Okay.
Hey, that's biased.
No. I'm not saying because I want him here. I want what's best for. I want him to make the best decision for him. If he wants to leave, I want him to leave. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said, it's one of our young brothers. Now, I'm not trying to keep him here. What I'm thinking because a lot of people in Houston feel that the team has a hand in orchestrating all this stuff, right? So I'm gonna tell you the opinion for a lot of folks here. So we think that the team worked with Bugsby, the lawyer, because they in the same neighborhood, the owners in Bugsby. So we think they got together, they came up with a plan. My opinion is to hurt his stock to where they can't trade him. Okay, they brought in Tyrod Taylor to play the rest of the season because I tell everybody, no matter what, I'm thinking that Deshaun Watson probably gonna get suspended for 6 games to a year, right? The next year is gonna start his contract. Another team is not gonna want to trade for him. You get what I'm saying? And he's gonna have to make a decision. Either he gonna play for the team, you know, or I don't think there's going to be another opportunity for him because I think they damaged his reputation to the point to where nobody ain't going to want to take a risk on him, because I'm thinking that they're going to try to hold the possibility of him getting maybe a criminal charge or something later on down the road. You get what I'm saying? Or we going to still be pursuing him after the fact or whatever. And going to a lot of teams off from them where Deshaun Watson going to be like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and stick here, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it out. I think Tyrod Taylor just a person that's there to fill a void in the meantime. They only signed him for 1 year.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, like, let's just say if all that is true, and you're Deshaun Watson, and you know this, why would you want to play for an owner who's basically trying to sabotage you? And then you had Andre Johnson, probably the greatest Texan ever in the organization, basically called out the owner. And basically saying ever since he came in the door, I agree. But I tell everybody, like I said, I'm not the person that's in that situation. I'm gonna wait to see what his decision gonna be. But it's just my opinion because he's gonna have to make a choice. Either I'm gonna stay playing in the NFL, but if no team would take if no team is gonna take a shot on him, you get what I'm saying? Yeah,
But
I
that's
mean, I wouldn't
that's
say.
just it. There's
There will
been
be teams.
teams that were still inquiring about trying to trade for him, until what, about a week or two ago, something like that. And
Right,
Yeah,
right, 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 right.
Yeah.
I think even at that, I think it was the commissioner. Even though the commissioner didn't put him on an exempt list, I think it was the commissioner just kind of said, "Hey, let's everybody cool down. Let's just wait and see what happened." And
Right.
they've done everything
I think
but
he's gonna be
legally
getting
put him
proved
on.
innocent. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be proved
Don't
innocent at the end
you
of the day.
can't and you
I
can't forget
hope.
about
I hope.
you can't forget about the press conference too when when the owner
Hmm.
referred to Deshaun Watson as a player instead of his own name.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
he probably burned that bridge. That's why Deshaun
I
Watson,
agree. I
like,
agree. I agree.
yeah. And plus, think about it.
Somebody,
Last season,
I
they
agree.
they got rid of DeAndre
Let the
Hopkins, one of
prisoners
his
run the
best
prison
receivers.
yard.
So it's like, why would you do that? Ugh.
Right. 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 I mean,
And let the
we've
and
been
Jay,
prisoners
having
run the
bad
prison
coaching over
yard.
the years.
Now, the only problem that the team is going to have, young man, you absolutely right on one part about that. That money is not going to line up because you don't tarnish this man's career. So, and this, that, and the other. A lot of other teams are probably going to want to get him at a discount. But wait a minute, your
Right.
money is sitting over here looking like this. That's
Because
the
I mean,
part
it's not
that's not
he
that's
right,
the part
and
that's
that's why I
not
was
going to
telling
match and
everybody
line
too.
up.
Because $150 million for a team to take on as a cap hit. Because, like I said, regardless, he gonna get suspended for the last year of his contract. You get what I'm saying? So the next team, it would have been the best benefit for somebody to sign him for him to play this year. Could they get him on a discount of $10 million? But since they're not gonna get that discount, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get suspended next year. The NFL gonna suspend him because they got all these clauses and BS in there. Is gonna suspend him, I'm sure. And guess what? Now a team gonna have to say, look, do I got enough cap to take 40 something $50 million a year hit from Deshaun? They got to make
The
it. It's gonna
sal-
be hard for
the
teams
salary
to
cap,
pick him up.
as they think is going to go up tremendously next season. So keep that in mind too. Somebody may have that
Okay,
kind of money, and then you got to pay attention too. Look at how many teams across the league sign quarterbacks for 1 year.
that's true too. It's true too. We gotta wait and see, man, because I mean, he in a crazy situation right now. Like I said, they ain't really nothing really going on in the media right now, so they need something to really blow up. So this is the only thing to talk about right now. So the media gonna try to have they free fall right now. They ain't got nothing to talk about.
here's his. You could probably say she's one of his primary massage therapists since 2018. She's one of the ones that came to his side when these allegations came out. She's the one that also works for the U.S. Olympic team. So, I mean, with her, it's understandable. When I see her, it's understandable why something potentially could have gotten excited or wrecked if she was massaging you, just because she's not an ugly woman at all. She's extremely attractive. And that's like, again, when you have to understand what comes with this business, I think when you're a masseuse, based on what Ashley Solis said, she's describing the same thing that Josh Brooks is saying, the 6-year massage therapist for the U.S. men's national team, but in a different light. She's taking it as harassment, whereas the professional of 6 years is taking it as this is what comes with the job, and it just happens when you're massaging athletes. Says Wyatt. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Deshaun, man. I don't think his career's ever gonna be the same. I honestly don't think he can recover from this. If he does play, it won't be for long. I don't know if he can recover from this all the way. It's just these cases right here.
I don't know about that. What's his name is still playing. Look how long Brett Favre played, and look at the crap that he did. Ben Roethlisberger. I know those are white guys, but look how long they played. But now we talking about somebody like Deshaun. We talking about somebody like Deshaun with all that young talent and skills, better than what Ben's had. It may be a little different.
And he's highly talented too, man.
Hey, he got
He's in his
dark skin.
prime
That
right
got
now.
something to do with it too, though.
Yeah,
but he in his prime. It's impossible. A team gonna take a chance on him, bro. I promise you. He's like one of the best right now.
Yeah, he one of the best to ever do. He led the league and
passing
yards.
Yeah. With no good
Yeah,
receivers,
so, I
none of
mean,
that horrible online, all that.
Yeah, so I mean, my man, the truth, man. But it's just sad to see when I young brothers, man, going through what he's going through, I heard he got a baby on the way and all this other kind of stuff going. He got a lot of stuff on his plate right now.
Yeah, I'm just, but yeah, we'll just have to see. We just have to see. We'll let the evidence come by and we'll see, because there's only three people, man: the victim, the accuser, and God that know the real truth.
Right.
It's just when you're a massage therapist, if you are legitimately operating off of Instagram, you need to keep so many records. It's crazy, and I just don't think.
The son should have did a little bit better by trying to protect yourself, though, because I mean, you go on the Instagram, you should be kind of expecting some of this stuff because a lot of these women are looking for a comfort.
He wasn't going to Instagram for massage. He was going to Instagram for sex.
No. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is a lot of women, especially on that type of sphere, they're looking for a come up, though. You get what I'm saying? It's not like he went looking for that, but he should be expecting things like that to be happening when you going in that swimming in that type of swamp. You get what I'm saying?
It's so easy though, man, to get relaxed and not cover your bases on a lot of these things and vet some of the people you're dealing with when it just comes so easy and you got all these women saying yes, come over, or yes, I'll come over, and it's just that easy. Sometimes you can get relaxed, and if you're dealing with somebody, let's say if he does have some type of addiction to that, then that doesn't help it and making it easier for him.
I mean, he might have a massage fetish or something like that. Who knows?
I don't doubt it. I mean, when you're dealing with that many massage therapists in a short amount of time, and then a lot of them are saying that there was a sexual encounter. When you got literally 18 have come out and said that he was nothing but professional and everything was done consensually. And you got 22 that have hopped on this train saying, "Oh yeah, there was something illicit done." But my question to the 22 women is, what are the odds? If I walk down the street and I slapped 20 people, I bet one of those 20 people are going to call the cops. How do you do this over 20 people, but not one files a police report? And for me, that's the biggest, most alarming thing right there.
Hey, Lamar, I got something.
Right,
oh, my fault. You can go, my brother. My fault.
No, I was listening. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, look, I got some recording right here where one of the females said it didn't show their face, but it's one of the accusers. Just listen to it. When I heard it, I kind of had a little itch in my back, in my spine. Listen.
The letter she wrote to Watson was read aloud. I am furious that the talented and hardworking young black man that gave so many children.
You heard that? You heard the part where it says black man?
What did you say again? Play it again.
All right, I'm gonna play it back.
Conference, but a letter she wrote to Watson was read aloud. I am furious that the talented and hardworking young black man that gave so many children.
You heard black man in there?
Yeah.
Man,
but what's the rest of the content? Because it sounds like she might be on the inside a little bit. I mean, what?
Yeah. No, it sound like she had a little. When I hear someone say like something like that, I feel like it gotta be something else.
You might have to play the rest of that though, because you never know where she was going with that.
Yeah. What did she say after that?
I hope she not. If she not black, oh my gosh, I feel like she felt a little hatred at that. You know what I'm saying?
I can't make a comment on a judgment on because you didn't play the rest of it. I'm not gonna hear.
Okay, I got you. It's on ABC. I'll put the link up here if you want me to.
Just play it.
Okay, all right, no problem. Because it don't show the whole thing. All right.
Children inspiration is nothing more than a predator with power. The 22 women.
You heard it? Nothing more but a predator with power.
Okay, I got you. So you got to play the rest of it because she sound like she might have been trying to come to his defense a little bit. But I got you. I'm with you now.
No, the woman didn't say that. One of the lawyers, like the accusers, brought a paper to the lawyer to say it. That wasn't her voice, the accuser's voice. That was the lawyer's voice. But the accuser sent her a paper. No, the victim sent her a paper to say. But when she brought up a black man, I just feel some hate. I don't feel right about that.
Hey, well, they're gonna.
One other thing I might want you to take a look at, bro.
Yeah.
There was a interview that was on Fox Sports Radio that they had a lawyer that came on, a lawyer came on there to talk to I can't even think those two guys' name. Was that Rob and
OJ?
what's his name? No, the guy he's Chris Broussard.
Parker and Chris Broussard.
They on
Yeah.
They had on their show they had a legal analyst, and she was taking this stuff to a crazy realm of trying to put possibly having charges with trafficking and all this other kind of crazy stuff. I know you got your video coming out, so I want you to check that out and listen to it and tell me what you think about some of the stuff that lawyer was saying on there about they might be looking at some kind of trafficking or women trafficking or other kind of crap. I mean, just check it out.
Because the thing is, they can say they're looking into all these charges. We're talking about Texas. The one thing about Texas that I've seen is that when it comes to charges, they don't really care about all the outside noise. If they feel they have a case against you, they're going to charge you. If they don't, they not. That's the one thing that Texas is solid with. That you can be black, white, or orange. If they got a case, they're going to crack you in the head. If they don't, then you free to go. That's one thing that
that's facts out here. That's true.
And so I don't think Texas plays like that. That's the one thing Deshaun Watson has in his flavor. They deal in a lot of common sense out there. More so
he got a great lawyer though too. He got one of the top lawyers out here. So I mean, it was a tit for tat type deal. He got the right lawyer to represent him because he represented a whole lot of sports athletes before, Adrian Peterson and all them, a whole lot of them, high profile guys.
Yeah, so I'm just curious to see how this pans out with him. I think he won't face any criminal charges. I don't think this comes close to having a strong enough case to take it to a criminal, and I think the one thing where the police are going to shy away from making this a criminal case, because I think once you start looking into the background of all these women, it's going to be some shady stuff going on in their past, where it's going to really affect these women's credibility. And I think a lot of these women, this is why they didn't want their name to come out. You know, that when that credibility comes out, a lot of these women that come out, a lot of these women aren't listed as licensed massage therapists. That's going to come up. It's just like, why are you coming to give them a massage and you're not even a licensed massage therapist?
Right.
So that's going to come out too. Are you even licensed? Do you have a customer base? This Ashley lady is the only one that I've seen actually have a website and a business location. But she also was one of the ones, she came out and said, I haven't been able to work since March. But she's lying there because it looks like you've done hundreds of massages since March 2020. And at an extremely, you're doing a qualified job because you're getting 5-star reviews. You talking about your hands are shaking and you can't finish services. I can't tell because you've done over 300 massages, over 100 5-star reviews on Google and Vargo combined.
Did any of these women that the accusers ever get multiple massages to Deshaun?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, if this dude's such a predator, I don't understand why you would get a guy multiple massages.
And if it look, I'm just like, it gets so annoying where if somebody does something wrong to me to the degree where I know I can't do nothing back. Why is everybody seem so hesitant to call the police when something wrong happens to them? Nobody out of all these 22 people, nobody said, you know what, I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna call the police because I was wrong right now. Nobody did that.
Me and my wife talked about all the things you talking about, and me and my wife talked about it. And my whole thing is some of these women are supposed to be married. If somebody did something sexual or offended my wife, it's gonna be hell to pay. Something gonna be said. You get what I'm saying? It ain't, you know, and it's like these women were, supposedly put in bad situations, but these men ain't say nothing. None of them. Didn't tell her to demand her to say anything to her employer or anything. You get what I'm saying?
She made it sound as if she told her dad about what happened. I don't know one dad in the world that is either not going to go straight to the police if you tell them this, or they're going to go try to do something to Deshaun Watson. One of those two things are going to happen. But you talking about dad,
and they had a situation with one of these ladies, and I think fellatio and all this other kind of stuff, supposedly. And I'm like, how did this guy force you to do that? You get what I'm saying? How did he force you to take that step with him? You know, so I'm like, okay, well, that's a whole different thing that you're trying to go after this man for and drag him through the mud for, but you participated in it and he made you feel uncomfortable. I don't get it.
That must be some uncomfortable. How do you enjoy that? How do you, as a man, I'm just going to ask you men that, how as a man can you feel comfortable forcing a woman to give you some dope? That's the most sensitive thing on your body besides your nuts. You gonna trust somebody that you besides your nuts? You gonna trust somebody with their teeth down there?
It's hard to trust people with it, even when they know, even when they want to do it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Right? And you talking about saying forcing somebody to do it when they don't? You get nothing out of that.
How are you gonna enjoy that? You be laying there fearful that any minute a tooth finna come. I mean, you know, this bitch gonna yank my shit off. I mean, you know.
That's GG after that, boy.
Oh my god.
Just really saying. I'm sorry, Lamont, that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that like that.
But you know what? These are all things that, again, if you're on that jury, you're going to be thinking the same thing.
Maybe not.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. But
if the men, you're right. A man probably would, but another woman wouldn't. I mean, I just know. I mean, you know, hey, you Lamont, you know my life, right? Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's going to be key right there. You know, how does each person's personal experiences allow them to look at this situation? And we already know that, you know, Ashley Solis said, you know, if it goes to jury selection, they're going to be looking to bring in women, possibly women of color, to get on that jury who may be emotionally, maybe has some situations potentially happen to them in the past that connects them in a way to where they can convince them that she's telling the truth.
And then picking of the jury is going to be important too.
And it's Texas too, man.
Well, me, like I said, I mean, he if they getting some people out of Houston, man, it's gonna be kind of rough because, like I said, Deshaun been involved in the community, man. He done a whole lot of good for the city of Houston, bro. And like I said,
y'all know it's something wrong with that damn town, this state. Sorry, that town. JJ Watt wanted out of there. Okay.
Exactly, and that's what I've been saying. Me being a fan with the team and being from here. Is that the fact that he wanted to lead the team and these players is turning down these big contracts. See, JJ Watt has $17 million and he said, you know what, cut me. I don't want that money. I want to get out of here. So I tell everybody it's something else there. Nobody knows, but it's something else there underlying that needs to be fixed with the team.
I said it a while ago on another one of Lamont's streams. What did I tell you, Lamont?
I can't remember.
Political.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, what does consolidate mean? Like consolidate the case, like
I tell everybody that if you pay attention to the team, since I'm from here, you go to all them players. You go to D-Hop. You go to Brown that played left tackle that went against, you know, the team and got traded to Seattle. You know, Deshaun Watson, all these different players. They are pro. You know what I mean? They're more left leaning, and a lot of the right leaning folks within the organization don't like that, and especially when they outspoken and they want to make this. To me, I think they got a problem with people want to have more control over their own destiny. You get what I'm saying? They don't like that. We get rid of all Pro Bowlers on the team, all good players on the team. We don't cut bad players. We cut great players. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the track record, it's always great players that's leaving this team, and it's something there underlying that's a problem. Like I said, I'm not inside the door, so I don't know what's really going on, but it's something there.
I still want to know why no mainstream media, the only people who've made a big story about the 18 women that came out and supported Deshaun Watson is TMZ. We haven't seen ESPN focus on it. Fox definitely hasn't focused on it. None of the major sports markets came out and talked about the 18 women except TMZ. And it says 18 professional female massage therapists are going to bat for the QB. They say nothing but positive experiences with him over the years, not just a few months, but over the years, not just since the pandemic, but they're talking about over years. They said over the past 5 years with these 18 women, he's had over 230 sessions without any sort of incident. So that takes me to the professional massage therapist. I'm assuming he probably didn't find those women on Instagram, but over the pandemic, he was dealing with some over Instagram because of most massage places were closed during the pandemic around this time. So I think his problem started when he started dealing with the IG women. That's very clear. And I think I can almost bet that
I would think he would be
I
think he would have been a little bit more careful though, you know, with this Me Too movement and all this stuff going on right now, man. This women empowerment stuff that's going on in society right now.
Sometimes you don't think when you're in that
That's
situation.
true.
You're just trying to get to it.
Are getting these
as
high
long as they take
executives.
to go to school
They
for
all
massage
about
therapy.
this women empowerment stuff.
I think that's why the women, the woman, I mean, her party put out the whole, you know, when she was crying and everything, because she knows like this era is the Me Too and cancel culture era, and people seeing that they always jump the gun before looking into all the facts and stuff, and they be like,
Yeah,
oh
because
yeah, let's.
when you pay attention, man, you look at the press conference, man. They have they went and got 4 female lawyers, all for the purpose of photo ops. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it just look bad. It's just like, of course, when you see that off rip without looking into the case and stuff, like you're just looking at it out of the blue, like, oh yeah, this guy's guilty. You see this girl crying and everything, like I believe her right away without looking into all the details.
Here's another statement to it. They didn't see you didn't see a lot of the major news outlets putting this out there as well. It talks about Ashley Solis, how she even really became to start working with him. It says that she was referred to him by another therapist that sent her screenshots of a diagram that a head trainer gave to him. So he considered her a legitimate massage therapist. So because he sent her a diagram from the Texans head trainers highlighting the muscles that needed to be worked on, which included the groin and hamstrings. It says he asked if she felt uncomfortable working on those areas, and she said no.
And that's the crazy part. This guy actually went through the whole process of getting all the information to her ahead of time.
So I mean, it's statements like this that are really going to be really damaging. You know, you agreed to work with him. You understood what types of muscles you're going to be working on. As other therapists will attest to, when you're working on those muscles, things can get erect, things can get aroused, and you just have to expect that because that comes with the territory. And then now when that does happen, now you're claiming foul play.
I just think when they had all these women, though, honestly, I think when they start bringing all these women information public, because that lawyer went and got that judge to approve them, any those past women and any new women have to go public with their information, which I think is a good thing, because now everybody that come to the table want to go try to eat off that plate. Everybody gonna be watching. You get what I'm saying? So though they gonna be judged as well coming there, because they have to be made public. So a lot of them gonna you know, if they have dealt with something, they want to come forward, fine. But like any of the salacious stuff these women are trying to do, trying to get money put in their pockets, then I don't think it's gonna work out in their favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when old boy tried to extort Kevin Hart for that money because he found out he had that sex tape or whatever.
Oh, you talking about his buddy? That was like one of his buddies too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's one of his boys. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think these people really thought that Deshaun Watson was just gonna just like cash them out and like be quiet and not do anything?
Honestly, I think they thought like that, bro. Cause they think, okay, this guy gets all this money, he gonna pay us off to shut us up. That's why that lawyer and Lamont brought it up at the beginning about that lawyer. I'm trying to come and get like what $600K, I think. Wasn't it, Lamont? Like $600K?
No, just $100K.
Oh, 100K. He was trying to get
Hush
100K.
It was a hush money
It was
payment.
already a money grab. But my hope, but this is what I was telling you, Lamont, about that lawyer. Like, if it's a if he not gonna make a crap ton of money, I don't understand why he being a big time lawyer like he is. You know, why would he want to take a case that's not going to bring any real money to him? You get what I'm saying? It's weird that you go and find this one regular woman, you know, because usually people like that only work within certain circles. They just do, especially around here. Usually you can get connection with people like that if you got like top tier money. You get what I'm saying? He takes big cases against some of the biggest companies in the world. Big, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't take regular cases.
Well,
that's the part that's
I
throwing
think
me
he
off right
probably
now.
works for a law firm, and if this case goes to trial, anything that happens in the media, he puts his face on. If this was a settlement that got settled out early, maybe it would have been a lesser attorney within the firm that doesn't have as much clout or credentials.
Right.
But once this became mainstream, you got to put your biggest face in front of it.
That's true too.
So that's a smart move for them.
Yeah, I think the NFL trying to Michael Vick Deshaun Watson. Like, he at the height of his career, like he damn near at the height of his career. Deshaun Watson could be bigger if he played on a better team. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he at the height of his career. Remember how Michael Vick was at the height of his career? It seemed like Michael Vick was about to be the next one to win one. Next thing you know, that dog fight issue happened. Now this is happening.
Yeah, but Michael Vick actually got caught doing it though. You know?
But Michael Vick. It wasn't even Michael Vick. It was the people in his circle that was doing this shit. Michael Vick was just the face. So you can't even say Michael Vick got caught. Michael Vick was just the face. That's just like Tupac. When Tupac got accused of rape, Tupac didn't touch that girl. He was the face in the room that was recognized. That was recognizable. So she said Tupac rape. No,
right.
You can't sit there and say that Michael. You can't sit there and say Michael Vick was sitting there dog fighting fucking dogs.
Because what happened was those people got caught up in a sting. Yeah. And one of the ones that got arrested was one of his homeboys that he put in business because it was Michael Vick's money, it was Michael Vick's property, and he allowed those dudes to do that there. Okay. So they snitched and for a bigger fish, got a lesser crime, got a lesser time. That's what they did. That's how Vick got caught up in that. Right. He didn't physically hands-on do any of that to the dogs. Not at that stage, he didn't. Maybe growing up when he was 17, 18, high school, college years, something like that. But in his NFL career, he wasn't hands-on. But he put his homeboys in business to be able to do it because that's what they wanted. Then they snitched him out. Now what he did was he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take the bid. I'm gonna go down for this."
Right.
Yeah, that's a fact. But I'm just saying that because that's what I'm comparing. That's how I feel like because that Michael Vick shit happened out of nowhere. It seemed like it happened out of nowhere. Like the next thing you know, Michael Vick was out of the league, and it seemed like the best years of Michael Vick's career could have been he was behind bars or he wasn't playing at all. And then next thing you know, they tried to give him a chance to let him try to act like he redeemed himself, and he clearly showed that he was still good, but he wasn't prime Vick like he was before he got them bullshit ass charges. But you said Ben Roethlisberger, all these other quarterbacks like Ben Roethlisberger could get all these bullshit ass charges and all that shit, and it gets put underneath the rug for him because he a white boy. But they ain't got no proof, no nothing like that. But they basically accusing that man and about to put him in the commissioner's exempt list and throwing this man's career off of he say she.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't done it yet. So let's wait and see what they will do.
I really believe they're trying their best, like you said earlier, Lamont. I really think that they're trying their best not to because they don't want to jump that gun and they don't want to be made a fool of. But I don't think the league itself is trying to ruin this man. I think that white man that owned that damn Houston team is trying to ruin that dude because he wanted up out of there. And then guys, take a look at it. You got anybody that's famous with money. David Letterman, I said that earlier. I didn't get a chance to finish that. David Letterman, he had a chick that come out and said, if you don't give me this money, I'm going to say this, that, and the other, and I'm going to tell this, that, and the other. And he said, I'm not going to be a part of no extortion. And he turned her buddy and he called the cops. He sat down and told his wife, I cheated on you. I had sex. Yes, I did it. I'm guilty, but I'm not finna pay this woman no blackmail money. Okay. And he called the police. They set her butt up, got her on tape, this, that, and the other. She's in jail. He's a free man. Him and his wife are still together. The network and him came to some conclusions. He retired. Bam. We good. I believe he stayed in there for like another year. I believe he finished out his contract with them.
Right.
But you know, Letterman was an older dude anyway. I still probably watch his show if his silly butt was still on TV. But yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why I said that this Deshaun Watson case is so important for him to fight it out, because it's gonna stop a whole lot of this. You know, it's gonna give it's gonna get a lot of people that have that could be accused a reason to stay in and fight instead of folding in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is very, very important, I think.
A lot of people don't have the money to do it.
Like you said, I think, remember how I compared it to the Michael Vick situation? Like what you said, what the brother said with the fight and shit. This could come out like Michael Vick, or he can come out on this shit like Kobe Bryant. Because remember, they tried to blackball and exile Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant took that shit, and you couldn't deny Kobe Bryant greatness. But the thing is, we gotta sit in here and wait and worry about what the hell Roger Goodell gonna do. Because he ain't trying to look stupid again after that Ray Rice shit. Because remember, they double jeopardy Ray Rice.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think
they don't
think they can get him up out of the league though. He's just too important to the league as it is, and they all about making money.
Ain't no one man too important than that league, than that Shield, man. They set Adrian Peterson down, man, for a whole year for whooping his son, man. And Adrian Peterson was at the height of his career after
right, and that's what I'm saying. That's why
bigger than that Shield, man.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was thinking that Deshaun Watson gonna be suspended for about a year because of this. But like I said, we're gonna see what happens. I think gonna be suspended for a year.
Yeah, they can probably hit him with that conduct detrimental clause and try to suspend him for something. Said your actions led up, put you in this situation.
Right.
They can do all types of crazy stuff, which none of it, which I think is
I just hate that small print, bro. That small print, man. It'll come back and bite you in the ass, man.
Yeah. It leaves them too much cushion to really define how they can, manipulate your career.
So you're telling me in these contracts, they really got language and clauses in these contracts stating that you represent a company or a brand 24/7, no matter you living your life. In these contracts, the shit is stating that you can't do something because you represent ESPN, you represent the Houston Texans, you represent. So you.
They got clauses now, bro. They can get rid of your ass. That's people don't understand. That's why a lot of these big businesses are making a lot of people contractors. That's the reason why they're doing it, because when you're employees under these umbrellas, you have different kind of rights. When you're a contractor, which a lot of these people are, that work and as a consultant or whatever, like Paul Pierce was a consultant. You get what I'm saying? That severs the tie, so they can fire you at any time. You don't have any workers' rights. But if he was hired under the Disney, Paul Pierce was hired under the Disney umbrella, that means something. They can't just fire you because they feel like it. Mm-hmm. So that's what a lot of people are not paying attention to. I don't
know, but you are right there. It's much harder to fire you justifiably if you're a standard employee. The contract workers is easier to fire you.
Yeah, that's why a lot of these people with these big jobs, like a lot of my customer base, are people that are big time people that make a crap ton of money, but they're consultants. You get what I'm saying? They work for these big IT firms and stuff like that. They do that for a reason. They'll pay you $300,000-$400,000 a year. You get what I'm saying? But if they want to get rid of you, they can just chop your head off at any time.
You got to have tenure. Tenure is basically.
Well, it's not about having tenure. It's about you being an actual employee. That's why a lot of new jobs, like the gig economy, they're making everybody nowadays contractors for a reason. So even if I've even seen from different people I've dealt with over here, like I've seen different people that work maybe at a fast food place or whatever, and they actually work under LLC, but work under a franchise. You get what I'm saying? They work for a separate LLC that hire people on. It's just like those people that work in the stadiums, right? They work for Aramark or whatever in these big old stadiums. They work for the Texans or whatever. Those people are not actual employees. You get what I'm saying? They work for a different company but they work for Reliant, but they're contractors for Reliant. Like the security guards they're not security guards for Reliant. They work for a security company. They got a contract with Reliant. You get what I'm saying?
And that's to protect these stadiums. That's smart.
Exactly. I mean, it is smart. Right. But it takes away all liability, and it lets them, and that's why they can fire and hire, at will. So if they have a problem that happen with the contract, they can
I don't have to cover your medical. And if you go out there and you do something, something stupid, no one that's attending my stadium can sue me. They got to go after the company you work for. So yeah,
right, exactly. So a lot of people are doing that. So and what they're doing is, like, a lot of times with I have a lot of big customers, right? So a lot of them, we have to rebid to get contracts every single year with different businesses. You get what I'm saying? So they can hire and fire. So say, for instance, if they don't like your contract or whatever, they'll just chop your head off, say, okay, we don't want to renew your contract, right? We're gonna get another firm, and somebody else is gonna step in and get those millions of dollars. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, that's work. It's a dog eat dog type deal, and that's what they're doing with a lot of the economy nowadays. A lot of these they're only keeping on the execs and big wigs with the company, right? Everybody else, they're making them contracts. I've went to big software companies. They have thousands of contractors that are software engineers, but they work for a different company. They don't work for that that big conglomerate company, which is crazy to think about.
Hired on to a company. I was working through a temp agency for like almost 9 months, and I just got hired on. Literally, I just started today with the company through an insurance. I was like in a life insurance company.
Right.
Like I'm state licensed and all that stuff, but I'm literally staying here working for a global company, but I'm working through a temp agency, and then I literally just got hired on today, and I started my first day as like an actual employee for the
part that's crazy. The part that's crazy. They'll make you feel like you're 100% part of the company. They give you an ID badge. They give you everything, right? And you still not a part of that company. Still not a part of that company. Still.
I had to go through mad bullshit for this conversion.
Right. They'll take you through the whole employee process, but you still be on another company. They'll go through the whole same hiring process, everything, right? But you'll still be working on somebody else.
High school diploma, man. Them niggas, they went back all the way to high school. I said, "Are you serious?" I went through all this already.
Well, that's what I've been telling a lot of people that I talk to, man. You're gonna have to pay attention to what you do on social media and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, there ain't too many companies that don't look at your social media stuff. Some of them, they will hire you because of that stuff, fire you because of that, because they're worried about money. Anything that they think will hurt their brand, they won't even hire you nowadays. Some of the regular jobs, they're making it to where it's harder for you to get those type of jobs. So it's just this day and age. It's just everybody's changing. They're trying to find ways to take away workers. That's why a lot of workers are not making as much money, because these companies are taking away all the benefits. You're basically like a little ant, that little cog on the wheel. You go there, you give up years, you have no pension, you have nothing involved in these companies. But all the big execs and stuff like that have crazy pensions. They getting stock options, all these crazy incentives. But they'll have 2 or 3 or 4,000 people there. They got no benefits and no incentives. That work under all these people that got all these benefits.
That still got paid kind of medical debt, taxes and all that stuff because they tax, because they medical and they benefits.
If you could find a decent job with decent benefits, you better take that job, because most of these companies nowadays are hiring people on as contractors, man. They're not hiring you on. So, and then if you're going in the marketplace looking for insurance, it's astronomically expensive. Because I didn't work in-house and I didn't work as a contractor on my own. And if you go on the marketplace looking for insurance, you ain't gonna even want to look at that again, how much it costs on your own to pay for you and the family for insurance.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Deal with that. That's what I deal with. I deal with insurance. That shit ain't no joke at all. Like,
yeah, man.
they'll make you feel like you're a part of the company and all that. Man, they had me about to do an accelerated training for some new insurances or whatever. I told them, I'm like, yo, I'm still a temp. Like, I need to figure out what's going on with my permanent status. If I'm a part of the company, like, y'all talking about accelerated training, like, y'all wild, and they talking about, oh, no, we're in the process of working that out. I said, well, until that's worked out, I'm not doing no accelerated training.
No, that's fact. That's smart because see, you need to, because I tell everybody time is essential. You never get that back. So the time you spend on these jobs, they need to count for something, towards something that you want. Because if you spend time there and they just yanking you around and you end up not getting anything at the end of the day, that's just time lost. You don't get back. But I've been telling everybody though, everybody's trying to go to college, and I tell everybody college is not for everybody. We need to start getting, especially my black folks, we need to start getting in some of these industries dealing with tech. You get what I'm saying? Like, go to one of these 6-month programs, and take advantage of getting skills, because a lot of us are going to school getting these degrees. It's not going to benefit us anyways.
That's a fact.
They're just not. They're just not, So I tell everybody, look, if you can go get you some skills, everybody good at something, everybody needs something to fall back on just in case, because all of us, as the powers that be, think all of us expandable. If you want somebody's job, they think you're expandable. They replace you in a heartbeat.
They took all these trade programs out of high school, so it's hard to convince them once they graduate.
That's true.
Because
that's true.
Everybody, they're grooming these kids coming out of high school to go to college. That's all they hear: college. So it's hard once they're done with college if they don't get accepted to say, "Well, go to this trade school because you didn't." It's hard. So they took the programs out of high school.
I agree. They did that to force you to go to college because there is an education industrial complex, right? They get paid for heads in schools to get funding from the state. You get what I'm saying? So all they want to do is wait for you to. They don't care if you graduate. All they care about is you getting in there, qualifying for those loans, which you never can get rid of. That's guaranteed by the government. That's money that they get. And that's the part that needs to change. I think that they should. My opinion, they should change the system to where graduation rates should matter. So they're not going to be get you in that school. You know what I'm saying? To get letting people in college just to get in college, just to put heads in there just to get paid. It won't be incentivized because they won't be getting money if you don't graduate. But as long as people find easy ways of going through the government to get secure funding, they're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need to focus on some more trades, like not just trades, but you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we don't need to just focus on being doctors and lawyers and all that stuff. We need to focus on
no. You don't have to. I tell everybody nowadays. This is the rise of tech. This is where we need to get in tech, like educating ourselves in the tech field, because that's where everything is changing over to. They're trying to automate all of our jobs away. People don't pay attention to that. Automation is coming. It's gonna eradicate most of America's jobs.
That's a fact.
And that's what a lot of people are not talking about, especially black folks. We do need to start making these changes now. Start to shift. All the traditional jobs that we used to have, they're gonna put kiosks there. Why you think they, in Walmart, look at Walmart, those self-checkouts, look how many they got now. There used to be heads in the store, in some of our communities that people used to have these jobs, they're not there, right?
They're still there. They're just doing something else. You know where all them cashiers went?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They went doing the curbside service. Check it out. It's more people, especially during that pandemic. It's more people doing curbside service up there in Walmart. You can't even find a freaking place to park to pick up your groceries now. True.
Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna get crazy in the next couple of years.
But you're right. I mean, I'm in trucking. Okay, I'm in transportation, and check it out. They coming up with some freaking automated trucks. How about that? You want to roll down the road with an automated truck? Ain't nobody driving that thing.
That's gonna be weird, but that's what I mean. I'm not surprised, because I tell everybody, you look back from when we was a little bit younger, we were kids. We thought we would be flying in 2020, right? We thought we were gonna be having cars in the sky by the time 2020 hit. But but we're not flying yet, but we're going towards that stage of the next industrial revolution. This one is going towards tech. So all the other jobs we used to have, they're making kiosks. I tell you about, people don't understand what a lot of these big businesses are doing. They're consolidating all their money into replacing individuals. They're trying to find machines to replace us to where it's less overhead, right? It's more productive, right? They can make money hands over fist. And to me, the part that's a shame is that a lot of these people that are getting mega rich out here are using a lot of our people to do it, which is the sad part. Like you got Amazon out here don't want people to unionize when I think unions are very important. They don't want people to unionize. No, they just have a big situation over there in Alabama. You know,
well, it
they don't
doesn't
want those
benefit.
people to unionize.
It don't benefit
Yeah.
Amazon for people to unionize. So they're just looking out for themselves.
I get what you're saying, but to me, I think having somebody there as a median in between the employer and labor, I think it's a good thing, because you at least have somebody there to negotiate on your part. That's how you get higher wages. Because I mean, I don't know if y'all stay in the Midwest, but you know, I got some relatives stay in the Midwest. A lot of them had these good, you know, mill jobs, stuff like that were iron workers, electricians. You get what I'm saying? That made good money back in the day, good union jobs. You know, they had those back in the day, but they don't have them when they start going across the country, destroying all these unions. Unions almost non-existent nowadays. So I mean, you base that at the discretion of that business. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough time, like I said, for a lot of folks in this country, because, you know, I mean, where are you gonna go? I mean, you can't just hop up and move. People make it sound like it's easy for you to just hop up and grab everything and move to a different city.
That's all facts, man.
You know.
Well, hey, yeah, we going on 2 hours. I'm about to get ready to shut it down. We had a good conversation today. I just wanted to chop it up about this Deshaun Watson situation a little bit to get everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. So I appreciate y'all for coming through today. Just kind of sharing some of your thoughts on this, man. Appreciate it.
Right. Thanks. Appreciate the panel, everybody. Y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Hey, everybody in the chat, I saw a lot of hey, salute y'all. I saw a lot of new names in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we try to drop these videos daily. And whether it's a live stream or just a podcast video, we try to do one or the other daily. So make sure you just tune in by, you know, whenever we go live. The only way you know when we go live, we know YouTube plays with them notifications. And make sure you are also following us on social media as well. So if you follow us on IG, Facebook, or Twitter, we always drop notifications when we drop videos and lives there as well. That way you don't miss a beat when we drop new content. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here for now. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's live stream, we're going to probably start it around 5:36. I'm not sure the specific topic, but it just kind of depends on the ebbs and flows of what happens with the NBA and some of the things that are happening in sports. So I want to kind of leave it open to what we talk about. But we'll be back tomorrow. Salute to everybody for coming in. Appreciate it. Make sure you tune in Wednesday. We're going to be dropping the video on this topic. This is where I'm going to really start unleashing and dropping the information that I've been able to gather on this particular situation. And you guys can analyze it from that perspective. Just like I said earlier, it just doesn't look like a case that's built on a lot of fact. I think they're just playing off a lot of people's emotions and hoping to just maybe scare Deshaun Watson into paying up some money. And I think that was their ultimate goal, to get money out of him. And I just say, I hope he doesn't fold. Hopefully he can stay the course. But it's a sad situation all across the board when you look at it. But it's it's FYF Sports, man. Another great episode. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Salute to the chat, and we'll be back tomorrow.
All I hear is yap, 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 yap. Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch the cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real, all know. Shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is.
Have you had a chance to look at the Johnson account?
Not yet. I've just been playing catch up from last.
Is this guy bothering you?
No, I was just...
Hey, she said she's not interested, okay, guy? I mean, this is a workplace, Chief. How about a little, I don't know, professionalism? Maybe we need to take this outside, because...
Bush out of control? Tame it with the Lawnmower 3.0, featuring skin-safe technology.
Sorry, guys.